All right, well, let's get into it. Let's start at the bottom and go up. We used to do this last year. It was way more fun because I think that those top two series, LSU at Texas and Tennessee at Bama, we want to
Your
save
heavy
those
hitters.
for last. The headgear. Yeah, headgear series.
Yeah.
So, Wake Forest at Clemson. Noah, you're hitting lead off. Tell us everything we need to know about these two series and then give your pick. And then I'll give Dimitri's pick. He sent them over to me. And then me and Jack will make ours.
All right, this one was actually a quick handicap for me. Two very tight teams to separate when it comes to just resumes so far. I think Wake Forest has dropped a couple of midweek games that might make them look a little bit more prone to lose a road game or two in this series. I'm going to go Clemson at Doug Kingsmore. I think game one is very, very interesting because Logan Lunsford's one of those breakout SP1s of the year so far. The transfer from Missouri put him in the pitching lab, and he's turned into an absolute superstar on the rise in the ACC. And he's going up against Aiden Canuck, who's been steady Eddie for the Tigers ever since he got on campus. Where Clemson kind of gets hurt is the Dane Moeller injury. He was expected to be a weekend rotation arm for them. Preseason, he's done for the year. And on Sundays, Justin Lagernick has kind of been the weak link of the rotation. And the Tigers Sundays games have kind of turned into shootouts. So if Wake can steal one of the first two games and get into that Sunday and put up some runs, they have a shot to win this series. But I'm going with Clemson here.
Yep. Dimitri also took Clemson, and I will be taking Clemson as well. If this series was at Wake, I would be way more tempted to go to Wake Forest, or go the Wake Forest route. But when it comes down to it, you like close your eyes and you think like, okay, Wake Forest of 2025. Let's not think about them 2023, 2024. Their 2025 team, although they are good, they don't have quite the star power or anywhere close to the star power that they've had previously. And Clemson at home is always the safest prediction I can make,
Yep.
and they've been unbelievable at home the last, I mean, really since Bakich has gotten there. Like for example, that Florida State series last year, they had no right to win that series. They were down, score 7 runs in the ninth to take the lead. Like they're never out of the game at home. So give me Clemson.
I've decided we're week 6 now. Is that finally, or is that where we're at?
Yeah.
I'm going to stop picking predicated on y'all's answers. I'm going to shoot from the hip. I'm going with my own homework and knowledge because I feel like I'd usually just go Wake here to save the board, but I am going to take Clemson at home, and I like it for a couple of reasons. I think their basketball team's going to lose. I think they're going to lose to McNeese, so I think there's just going to be an overflow of baseball fans at Duncan Kingsmore this weekend because they're going to be sad that their basketball team's out of the race. And then secondly, I love this idea, and I feel like this is going to piss a lot of people off as well. I love this idea that when you see trends across not only just the sport, but college athletics as a whole, anybody like a little, like when you look at the ACC top to bottom right now, a little disappointed? Like right now, to me, we're all going to take Clemson. To me, it's Clemson and Wake right now. And if you were to say those are the only two teams from the ACC that get to Omaha or make a deep postseason run, I wouldn't be too shocked. Like the ACC from top to bottom has just been a little bit disappointing. So I think it's going to be really fun to see. I think the two best teams in the conference duke it out because right now in college basketball, like the ACC has a pretty big down year. And I think baseball's kind of trending in that direction as well. So I think they're going to need and rely on these two teams to kind of carry a lot of the weight from the national like conversation standpoint. Obviously, Florida State losing one midweek isn't why I'm too fearful of like leaving that out of that conversation. I just think who has played the best consistent baseball in the ACC? It's these two teams, and I think at the end of the year we're going to have that same conversation.
Very good, everybody. All right, Noah, talk to us about Arizona and West Virginia.
Yeah, so that was an unfortunate weekend for West Virginia last weekend in Stillwater. Fires wipe out the Friday and Saturday game, and then that what was supposed to be game 3 on Sunday turned into a kitchen sink game for both pitching staffs. Both Steve Savins, the head coach of West Virginia, and Josh Holliday elect to go SP1, SP2, SP3, top bullpen arms in that game. They just ran it all out there. Give it all you got. So I don't know how that might affect Dub V in this upcoming weekend series, whether or not Griffin Kern will be ready to go for Friday. Chase Meyer closed that game out, I think, with 3 innings. He's been their typical Sunday guy. So I don't know who's going to get the nod early in this one. What I do know is that Arizona has been really hot ever since they left the Shriners, but it, those were 3 games away from the juice box, as they call it, the high C, High Corbett Stadium there in Tucson. So they're 1-3 away from home. They won their one true road game. I think it was at Rice, ironically, who we've talked about on the show already.
Mhm.
So I just have a little bit more question, just uncertainty of what West Virginia is going to do with the pitching staff. And I've seen them kind of jump into these high scoring matchups now, the one game with Oklahoma State and then the 3 home games against Kennesaw State. I think that suits Arizona's very experienced lineup better in this type of series. So I'm going to go with the Wildcats here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good pick. They've been rattling off a ton of wins. Like one of their only losses in their last 14 or 15 games was it was to Tennessee in Houston. So yeah, they've been looking good. And that was your preseason College World
National
Series winner, right?
championship pick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking a lot better than it did after week one.
Yes.
So for me, I'm not going to fade the facility here. I think what West Virginia is doing after having to like replace guys like JJ Weatherholt and who is the lefty guy that threw 100 innings for him last year? I cannot think of his name.
Um, Gosh, he went to Northwood too in my area.
David,
He was
no,
shoved against North Carolina.
Damn it.
but yeah, he was a true Friday guy for him last year. No, go ahead and look it up. But when it
Yeah.
like this will be a true home field advantage. The games are already sold out. West Virginia, their whole athletic department, their whole state, pissed off about the basketball selection committee. They're going to invest all of their time and energy now into getting hammered drunk at home games in West Virginia and Morgantown. And I think that
Yeah,
home
that
field
place will be a bubbling cauldron.
exactly like it's going to be a
Hopefully
great
water.
atmosphere. I don't have quite the vocabulary that Noah has, but yes. So I think West Virginia will take 2 out of 3. And I had one more point, but I can't remember. Go ahead,
Derek
Jackson.
Clark.
Maybe I'll remember it.
Derek Clark. Good
Derek
name.
Clark.
Eric Clark. Yep.
Dude, bubbling cauldron. I'm gonna use that in every broadcast the rest of the spring. That was beautiful,
There we
King.
go.
I'll take West Virginia. I like the Mounties, and if they lose the series, their governor will sue Arizona, and we'll make sure to get that rubber match back. Mounties.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Dimitri also took West Virginia.
Okay.
So next series, Coastal at Troy. 2 schools that we love them. We love them here on the show. We've loved them for years. Coastal traveling away from home to go down to Troy. I'm expecting a full crowd, and also Troy's in the tournament, right? The basketball tournament. So when
Yep.
they get
Yeah,
eliminated
Kentucky.
Thursday, all of their fans will be back for Friday for this weekend series. And look, I'll put it to you this way. I think the winner of this series could potentially
Host.
host a regional. Like this is a type of series you win, it sticks out on a resume. It improves your chances of hosting a regional tremendously. And like between Troy, Coastal Carolina, Southern Miss, and the other team in the Sun Belt that I'm forgetting right now. Uh, hmm. Are those the only 3 that could host this year? Am I missing somebody?
Troy, Southern Miss, Coastal.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
missing one.
You don't think Louisiana probably with some of their early
No,
losses?
Lafayette, no. They like last year potentially, but their RPI was bad. Wow, I guess it is only those 3. Georgia Southern probably not. James Madison, no. Texas State, no.
App
But anyway,
State's frisky, but they're not good enough to be a top 16.
right. So yeah, I guess I mean this is a huge series, way bigger than I thought. 3 teams are battling right now for a Sun Belt title. But I
And a
like what Troy's
host.
been doing. I like what Troy's been doing pitching wise and offensively. It feels like they finally have the weekend rotation set. They got guys that they can rely on, and the bullpen's been great. Coming off of a weekend series win on the road at ULL. So give me Troy here at home. I like that play.
Yeah, I'm going to echo a lot of what Ben already said. And last season, the Trojans swept Coastal and Conway. And I'm
Jack
one
was
of
on the
those.
call. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm one of those that still can't put full faith in the Chanticleer's road offense. I don't know what it is, but they they just don't see it as well, I guess, away from Brooks. But this, like I said earlier, if I was still alive in the survivor pool, this would be a candidate of mine. I like the Trojans a lot here.
Yeah, so
I
Troy is 17 in the RPI, Coastal is 14. The next highest, Southern Miss at 47. And
wow.
then after that, surprisingly enough, is the Road Warriors of Old Dominion.
What's
They
killed
are
Southern Miss's RPI to be at 47? They have a win against Mississippi State, a win against Ole Miss.
series win against TCU on the road.
Yeah,
Um,
why
a
are they
series
47
win
right now?
against,
The Lafayette 4-gamer, is that what is an anchor right now?
yeah, I would say not Louisiana Lafayette, like actual Lafayette. They have a series win
Yeah.
against Louisiana Tech and UNCW. And they
Why are
have a
they?
midweek win against UTRGV. That's why the RPI, you can't look at it too heavily right now.
No.
Too early.
It'll lower itself out, but that is surprising. Southern Miss is in the 40s.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and congratulate Coastal Carolina. I'll take Troy as well. Wanted to shout out the entire Troy Trojan community. Know that they had some natural disasters head that way. A lot of coaches and families in that area impacted by what's going on. So our thoughts and prayers go out with them. And if there's anything that we can do to help spread the word to help some families out down there, please let us know. So I think Riddle Pace will be a cool place to all get together this weekend and root on the Trojans. So they're playing for a little bit more than just themselves this weekend, which will be cool. I know Saturdays down there are nuts. So hopefully they got a good place to go and hang out to this weekend.
Yeah.
Who did Dimitri take in this series?
He took Troy.
So
Yeah.
we've got 3 sweeps at the bottom of that graphic that you guys are going to put out tomorrow.
Yeah, we
Didn't
all
you
took
take
Clemson.
Arizona?
We all took Troy.
I'm not on
Well,
the
you-
graphic though, so it's you 3.
Oh no.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
picking with my gut. I'm done picking off of what you guys think. I like it.
Wait, did somebody wait? Have we all picked the same so far?
Yeah, we've
You,
all picked the exact same teams, dude.
Jack, and Dimitri have all gone
Yeah, we're
3 for
screwed.
3 for 3.
Or we're going 6-0. Not sure yet.
All right. Well, the next one, I know the next series. I know that me and Dimitri are different.
Okay.
What's UC Irvine at UC Santa Barbara? Noah, I'll let you kick it off, but Dimitri did take Irvine here.
All right. Yeah, as much as we do love UC Irvine, right now they're the number 1 team in the 11.7 mid-major top 25, but their starting rotation right now has a bunch of questions. They've kind of mixed and matched it. Recently, their Friday night starter, Danny Suarez, has been bumped from that role. We know he's got the wicked curveball, but opponents are hitting 600 against his fastball so far this season. He's got a 10.13 ERA on the year. So they've got like 3 guys that have had 1 start this season. They've all kind of thrown last weekend. And the one steady for them has been, I believe it was Trevor Haskins is his name. He's been their best guy, a mid-4s ERA. But there's just too many questions for me on the pitching side. And you're going up against UCSB, who has had one of the more steady stabs in the country. Jackson Flores had a roller coaster up and down so far, but I like the Gauchos a lot in a bounce back weekend at home after losing that series on the island to Hawaii. I'll take the Gauchos over the Anteaters here.
Yeah, you just stole my thunder there. I was going to say the same thing. I as much as I like UC Irvine this year and think that they're offensively much more superior than Santa Barbara, the fact that like I can't see Santa Barbara losing back-to-back weekend series, especially with this one at home. The Big West home teams have been dominating so far with series wins and games just won in general. So I do like the Gauchos at their home ballpark. I think the pitching will get it done, and you kind of touched on it, Noah. Like Irvine has some pitching question marks right now.
Yeah.
So
Trevor Hansen was the guy that I butchered his name. He's got a 4.10 ERA. He's the one steady rotational arm they have.
Yeah. I'm thinking your boy that has the 10 ERA is probably wishing you butchered his name, but no worries. I'll take the Eaters. I think their offense is good enough to win games, even if they throw the three of us on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Give me Coach Orloff. Give me UC Irvine. And before we hit these final two series, a shout out to hopefully a potential future sponsor. Uber Eats has arrived, Ben. Can you go check your front door?
Oh, is it here?
Oh,
Looks like Miss Wendy has gone and dropped it off, and I want to make sure it's there for our friends that are listening at home. I lost an Uber Eats bet that I mentioned at the beginning of this pod. Mercer beats Florida State. I'm a man of my word. And Miss
this
Wendy
is
looks
great.
like she just dropped off her tropical smoothie beach bum white chocolate drink for Mr. Upton down in the Savannah, Georgia area. Hey, I'm a little bit concerned, Noah, you were there as I really struggled. I'm like an 88-year-old stuck in a 28-year-old body with technology. No, I could not get Ben's correct address plugged in. And trust me, I am a seasoned Uber Eats vet. So Uber Eats, shout out to 11.7. I know they're doing a
Yeah.
lot of marketing stuff right
Crossing
now.
our fingers that it's right there on the porch.
I'm hoping to goodness that I'm hoping to goodness it was the right spot. What do you think, Noah? Do you think you got there?
I don't know. He screamed something, so hopefully it's there.
It wouldn't let me plug in his address. He says he's moved into a new neighborhood.
I got it.
Yeah.
There it is.
Let's go. Dude, I scared the poor girl. She was just standing there trying to take a picture of it.
She
I
was
was
still out there?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep. Dude, this is delicious. What'd you call it?
It's a beach
beach
bum.
bum.
It's a bona fide milkshake. Shout out to Tropical Smoothie. Shout out to Uber Eats. Those are two future sponsors. I can feel it in my loins. Congrats to Ben and the Mercer Bears.
This is the best
great.
$19 smoothie I've ever had.
Best $19 I've ever spent. Men of my word.
Thank
Yeah,
you, Frank
I'm
Gibson
glad.
and the Mercer Bears for taking down Leak Jarrett for the second straight year.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have a tropical smoothie near me because it sounds like $12 smoothies are all Jack's budget is going to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I love them. And this is a true story. I went to Tropical Smoothie. I have the app, gaining points left and right. Love that place. Tropical Smoothie, shout us out. And I ordered my tropical smoothie, and I live in Mount Pleasant, South Carolina, and I ordered it to Mount Pleasant, Michigan. So they were real confused when I showed up and it still wasn't there. So no, I should have had you go pick it up.
It's about 2 hours 15 minutes from me. Shout out
How
to their
much-
rival, Western Michigan. They took down the Michigan Wolverines yesterday too.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
Bad week for Big Blue. Hey,
Yeah.
was Miss Wendy nice out there? Should I tip her well?
I think I spooked her.
Okay, then I'll tip her well. I'll tip her $5.
We always tip
That's a
well.
$24 smoothie.
11.7
Yeah.
always tips well.
Yeah. If you want to talk 11.7, I want you to think of three things: great tippers, mid-major junkies. I need a third.
Pencils.
Nah. Yeah, pencil pushers.
Dude, I am loving this. This is unbelievable.
There's a little pregame, little C4 action before we talk about these last two series. Got you feeling right.
Yeah. Where we lead? So we left off.
Yes,
Tennessee,
Tennessee.
Bama time.
Tennessee at Bama. Both of them struggled in the midweek, or at least got caught off guard by some good mid-major teams.
Yeah.
We've already talked about it. I bet Bama was so upset when they saw Tennessee lost. That's the best way to put this.
Uh-huh.
Tennessee losing, Bama was like, golly, dude. Like, they're not going to be farting around. Like, they're going to be focused from them. And not saying that they wouldn't be anyways, but you guys catch my drift. Tennessee is going to be extra focused when they get to Tuscaloosa. Noah, go ahead and lead us off with this series. And Dimitri did take Tennessee, so keep that in mind.
Yeah, in my notes, I wrote a little bit of that down. But these are Tennessee's first road games of the season. It's a relatively inexperienced squad. So that's one way to put it. The other way to put it is the first road game. You're coming off a loss in the midweek to ETSU. It is probably a tough spot for Bama because you have to probably assume that Tennessee is going to win game one with a good Liam Doyle bounce back start after Florida was able to work his pitch count, get him out of there in the 4th inning. I'm sure he wants to go a little bit deeper in this one. So I'll chalk up game 1 to the Vols. There should be plenty of runs scored in this series by each team, because game 2, I think Riley Quick should be able to go quite well for the Crimson Tide. So the way I see it, Alabama might take game 2. I do think the one hole of this Tony Vitello team this year is they don't necessarily, and I'm poking holes in a team that has one loss on the entire year, they don't necessarily trust a third starter, correct? Because Brandon Arvidsson hasn't been totally sharp this season. And Tegan Kuhns, he's had a short leash in both starts that he's made so far this season. They would prefer to not use Nate Snead in relief in game 1 or game 2 and let him go 4 or 5 to open up that game 3. But it seems like in most series, they're fine piggybacking Snead in one game and just throwing 2 pitchers, and whether it's the Doyle start or in game 2 with Marcus Phillips. So I think the key to Bama this series is to make sure you see Snead in game 1 or game 2. Game 3, I got the home team putting up plenty of runs and winning this series in game 2 and game 3.
Taking Bama.
I'm taking the Crimson Tide. Roll Tide.
I love where you're at. I love where your head's at. I think this is a battle of 2 of the not only like best young coaches in the SEC, but in the whole country, between Rob Vaughn and Tony Vitello. I call them young. They're probably in their 40s, but who cares? I don't know if I've ever said this on the show, but I used to watch Rob Vaughn play in high school. And I got to meet him in person for probably the 3rd time, but the first time in the last 20 years, and in Jacksonville. And awesome guy, down to earth, but you could tell he's a leader of men. And I do like Bama to win a game this series, maybe because of the road factor that Noah already talked about, or the question marks that Tennessee doesn't have quite the roles pitching wise. But at the end of the day, Tennessee's the best team in the country. I'm not going to fade them now. I'm going to take Tennessee, and but I do want to predict that it will come down to Sunday's rubber match. I think it'll be 1-1 going into Sunday.
I got to tell you, I feel like this is going to sound so stupid because we're talking about the guy that gets pissed when his team run the rules other teams in like the 7th and 8th inning. But don't you think maybe a little bit internally that Tennessee coaching staff was like, all right, we got the loss out of the way. Like, okay, now we get to use it as a little bit of like, hey, see, you slip up, anybody can get us, right? Everyone keeps telling you the best team in the country. Not anymore. So, yeah, Alabama's got to be so bummed that they didn't get a chance to, like, take that first loss away from them. Like, they got to be so bummed. With that being said, I think it was – I want to make sure I get it right. Sam Thorne, one of those awesome Vol Twitter fans that was on there, and I believe 2 days ago he tweeted out that it had been 1 full year since they had lost a series last. Like, isn't that insane to think that they went the rest of the year in the SEC?
Do you know who they lost?
Series? And who did they lose to?
Alabama.
No, but the Tide. I think Alabama gets them. You guys have broke it down from a matchup standpoint perfectly. I really thought I was going to be all alone on the graphic here. Noah, I'm with you. Now I'm also zigging while I'm zagging. Where like, hey, I haven't lost in a year. I thought I was going to be the one to jinx it by retweeting Sam Thorne, being like, well, here they come. Here comes the loss. I could see Tennessee going down and sweeping. But I do think Riley Quick is that good. Like on Saturdays, I think he might be the best Saturday starter in the country. And I think that those 3 wins against A&M last weekend were a lot more to be said about A&M than they were about Alabama than they were about A&M to win the way that they did late in the game. I think Alabama home fans are going to be really excited to rally around this group and Rob Vaughn. So I'll take the Tide. I'll ride with you. No, let's go to work. Let's go to work. I can't. Tennessee fans are going to be pissed. I've been in the foxhole with them for a long time, but I think they should be really excited to see me in the other dugout.
Noah, give us a hypothetical line for Friday night.
I guess that line,
I mean, I undershot it by about $1.40 last week with Florida, Tennessee. So Friday night, Tennessee at Bama, I would probably say -190 Tennessee.
I think you're gonna be shocked. I think Doyle's gonna get the Chase Burns treatment this year, where every time he steps foot on the mound, you're looking at almost minus 300. Seriously.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. LSU at Texas. Final series, probably the series I'm most excited for. Not only because you get to see Cade Anderson versus Jared Spencer on Friday, which will be a treat, like an absolute treat to see two of the best lefties face off against each other. But I I look at both of these teams as not only like College World Series contenders, like they're both national championship contenders, and especially the way that LSU has played offensively. I thought that they would be a little less offensive this year compared to other years, but like Bear Jones is putting balls in the parking lot. Like Hunter Milan, like these guys look very comfortable in the box. No, I'm sorry. You can lead off here. I almost spoiled my pick, but Dimitri did take LSU.
Uh, first road games for LSU as well in this
Yeah.
one, and I think it's super important because last year LSU went 3-12 on the road in the SEC, and this is, albeit probably a better squad than last year, but they're younger, and I think going to the Dish is going to be a tough trip for this group. I had Texas as a SEC contender coming in the season, much like Ben did. I view them very similar to him. I'm not budging from that prediction. A road sweep at Duty Noble is super impressive. I'll take the Horns. I think they have like the goods right now. I think Texas is rolling, so I'll take the Horns.
Yeah, both of Texas's losses have come in extra innings. The opening day loss to
Which they
Louisville,
were winning for 8 innings. That they
they were
kind of
winning
gave
the
that
whole
away with a couple of errors.
right, and then UTSA snaps their 17-game winning streak yesterday, tying it up in the ninth, and then winning in extras. I, this series is so tough for me to predict. My brain says go Texas, don't fade the facility, but my heart does say LSU right now. I think this LSU team is more special than they're given credit for. And look, I know we talked about like, oh, should they be number one or Tennessee? Blah blah blah. The whole world's talking about it, but I agree. I think LSU and Tennessee, when it all comes down to it, are the two best teams in the country from top to bottom. And I'll take LSU on the road here to win two. They won't sweep. They'll win two though.
Give me Texas. I
That was
think
the easiest prediction
I give me
ever.
Texas. They're at home. I think that I think you're right. I think 1 and 2, and I think it's everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like if it's not going to be Texas and Texas A&M in the College World Series final, which I think is script 1A for the writers, script 2 is going to be the two programs that have dominated the sport over the last 2 years. With Tennessee and LSU playing for a College World Series, you go back to the SEC championship last year. To me, the way that because I feel like I can't get enough of him. Like I love those Jay Johnson interviews because if you know Jay Johnson, if you watched him from afar, like he lives this every day. He never turns it off. And he's so passionate about this damn team. Like the way that he's talking about this group is the way that he talked about those seniors that helped him win it 2 years ago. Like the way that he buzzes about this group is different. With that being said, I think the boys out in left field, I think occupy left field and the Longhorns. This feels like another opportunity for a statement start in the SEC, right? Like, hey, want to play SEC baseball? Why don't we send you to Duty Noble first, then host the Tigers second, right? It just feels like to what Noah said, like they got the goods. They got something rolling. Max Wiener's got that staff firing on all cylinders. And I'll take Texas at home. It's a rubber match as well, just like Alabama. And also, this is the third week in the row that I've heard Noah say fade the facility, and I'm now 5 of 6 on my home guys. So I feel good about those numbers.
Very good. Very, very good. All right. Any closing thoughts before we get out of here, fellas?
First half unders in March Madness.
That's
Is
a
that a thing?
great last thought. Oh yeah, it's a big thing.
Should we make a quick college basketball prediction? Who's going to win it all?
Yeah, I'm with it. I'm down.
All right.
Bam.
I'll take the Cougars. Houston Cougars, repping the home city.
Good
I
pick.
like it. for the H. I'll take Bama. Roll Tide Willie. Yeah,
My
Florida.
Gators are really good this year. I'll
Good
take
pick.
Florida.
Good
All right,
pick.
cool.
My shout out. Can I get one last shout out?
Oh yeah, one last. Go ahead.
Uber Eats tropical smoothie. Call us. That's all I got.
Seriously, I would give you free advertisement if we just had free smoothies. This thing is
What?
incredible.
I'll get
Well, cool.
tropical smoothie tattooed on my butt if they call and give us free smoothies. The
I'll match.
match.
I'll match it. Well, cool. All right. Well, you guys enjoy watching basketball, watching baseball. A lot of fun sporting events this weekend. So you guys enjoy it. We'll be back Sunday night. And actually, maybe not. We might be Monday next week because Noah's going to be busy with Sunday basketball, correct?
I would be available Sunday. We'll be doing our show Monday from recapping everything.
All right. Then we'll recap Sunday night. It'll be a blast.
Perfect.
So thank you, everybody, for listening. I'm going to finish this smoothie, and we'll see you Sunday.